opening statement, and we'll take questions. Coach.
Well, just a really special night tonight in Welsh-Ryan. As a coach, you always worry about games, especially senior night, because you know the emotion that is put in from all the players. But, thinking back now, and I told the guys after the game, I'm not really surprised by how they played, because this is how this group has been all year long. I mean, they've shown up every night, whether it's injuries, whether we've played well, we've played bad, whether we've had a loss, had a tough week, and we just have a tough-minded group, and I've said this, it's not the most talented team that I've ever been a part of, but I've told our guys, I've been doing this now for, 26, 27 years as either an assistant or a head coach, and I've never coached a tougher team. I really haven't. This is a tough-minded group. This is a competitive group. We aren't perfect, although that first half offensively was probably close as we've come in a long time. But I'm not surprised, because I know how like when we got back from East Lansing, the way we've been the last 2 days, like I knew our guys were really going to be ready. I knew they, everybody wanted to talk about the NCAA tournament. It was never about the NCAA tournament. It was about the Big Ten, and for us, you have goals throughout the year. And, for our program now, just to think, some of you guys have been doing this for a long, long time. Some of you guys are undergrads or students, but I know Louis, some of you other guys have been doing this a long time. For you to say in back-to-back years that Northwestern men's basketball has 24 wins in the Big Ten and is now come in second place and at least a share of third place, depending on, what happens tomorrow. If one or two wins, we might share third place, but to come in second place and third place in back-to-back years in this league, with the programs that you compete against on a nightly basis, what a testament, man, to these players. And I tell you what, I have to talk about our crowd. This year for us, last year we had a special year, but we were 6-4 at home. We won 6 road games. We didn't protect home like we needed to last year. This year, this was a real home court advantage this year. And that's our students, that's our Northwestern community, that's our local fan base. Like this atmosphere tonight just kind of capped off what they've been all year for us. And, to go 9-1 in the league at home with the level of competition, that we faced. And I mean, we played all the best teams twice. I mean, you look at our schedule. I mean, every team doesn't play everyone twice, but for us, to have to play Purdue twice, Illinois twice, Nebraska twice, Michigan State twice. Obviously, Wisconsin's up there. We only played them once on the road, but you look at the top 5 teams, 5-6 teams in the league. Obviously Iowa only once, but we played everybody twice. And for our guys to come out of that 12-8, just so proud of them. It was about that. It was about getting our 12th win. It was about capping off the home slate with 9 home wins, getting to 21 wins overall and having a chance to come in third place. And that's what tonight was about, and so proud of the guys they were able to accomplish it.
Coach, Blake Preston, long season high, 26 minutes. What do you see from him out there tonight, and how much of a boost did his play give you guys, especially in that first half?
I mean, he stepped up when needed, and I told him, certainly for Blake, I'm sure at times he wanted to have a bigger role, and, we've had the 3 big guys all year, and it was kind of who was playing well, and, Matt and Luke had kind of emerged, and he was kind of the third guy and not playing, but I just kept telling him, like, you're going to be needed, you're here for a reason. And unfortunately, Matt went down and wasn't able to play, and he was called on. And, that's why you go get us someone who's played in a winning program. He knows what winning's all about. That's a big reason why we went out and got him. And, better late than never, right? I mean, he was awesome tonight. His energy, the way he finished around the basket, the emotion he played with. And hopefully that'll be a huge confidence boost for him going into next week, because, we're going to need him, as we head into the postseason. We need everybody. It's when you don't have guys out there that have been starters and key guys, that people have to step up. And you've seen Blake Smith do that. And, now we're going to need that from Blake and Luke as well.
Talk us through Boo's last possession there when he hit the 3. He came over, you guys were talking a little bit. And then what'd you tell him when you subbed for him? Came off
well, I just told him I loved him. I'll always be indebted to him for what he's meant to this program, what he's meant to me. You guys, there was a lot of negativity surrounding the program. I never got it all, quite frankly. If you look at 100 years of history, our tenure's been pretty good when you look at the history of the program, but that's the nature of the business. If you're not producing, people are going to throw mud at you. They're going to sling mud, they're going to sling dirt. Some people chose to leave, and the people that chose to stay, we stuck together, staff, players, coaches, and Boo was at the forefront of that. I'll never forget, we had a meeting, before the start of last year, and everybody was digging our grave. I wasn't going to be the coach. The program was going nowhere. Guys had transferred, coaches had let all these things. And we just said, that's not how this story's going to be written. It's just not. And, Boo was at the forefront of that, and what he's done these last 2 years, to be able to play at an all Big Ten level, first team. To me, he's an All-American. I mean, this is no disrespect, but I don't know many point guards that if you sub them on our team would have the same impact that Boo has on our team. So it doesn't mean there aren't other great point guards in the conference and in the country, but there is no other point guard that you put on our constructed roster that would do what Boo Buie has done. And I know that for a fact. The guy's been an All-American. He's been a first-team All-League guy. To me, I mean, you can't argue what he's done, and he rightfully so. They've won the league, and he should be the player of the year. But in my opinion, Boo is 1B, in terms of what he's done, especially with the injuries, right? I mean, how many teams could lose 3 starters, and still go to Maryland and win, still win tonight, have a last-second shot at Purdue or at Michigan State to have a chance to win. And that's when you have great leadership, and Boo has just kept our team going with positivity and next man up. And I've said it, I know, and this is zero disrespect to anyone who's ever played here, because I love history, and it's not about comparing eras and talent. But no one has had the impact on this program like Boo Buie has. And I just want to keep playing as long as we can, because it's going to be a sad day when I can't coach him anymore. And then when that day comes, I'll be his biggest fan, and we'll be friends for life.
Coach, with all the emotion surrounding today and all that was at stake, how did that fast offensive start in the first half help relieve some of the pressure?
Yeah, when the ball goes in, it helps, right? I mean, everyone has a little nervous energy. It's the last game of the year. You're at home. The guys understood the importance of trying to take care of home. We had come off 2 losses. You got to come home and win the game. Seniors are playing their last game. The beginning of the game is very, it's a great thing when you're honoring seniors, but you get out of your rhythm. Your pregame rhythm is, you're staying out there for 10 minutes, then you come back, you don't really have your same pregame talk. Everything's kind of thrown off a little bit. So as a coach, you always get nervous, like, are we going to be ready to go? And then, man, that first half, we were humming offensively. I mean, I thought the ball moved. They were trying to trap Boo, which a lot of teams do, and I thought he got rid of the ball. We were moving it. We were making shots. We had 15 assists, I think, in no turns at halftime. We're shooting about 70% from the field. I mean, that was probably as good an offensive half that we've ever had, definitely this year. And but I told our guys, I said, guys, like, that can't be fool's gold. This is an explosive team, and they had 41 at half, so it was really important. Second half, we held them to 25. It was all about the defense at halftime.
Yeah, following up on that, you guys had 1 turnover the whole game, none in the first 38 minutes. You guys haven't had a turnover rate that low in the last 15 years or so. Like, what was the messaging coming off the Michigan State game that led to this?
The messaging was just be us. Like I said, like, I've loved coaching this team. This team has showed up every night. It doesn't mean we've lost 10 games or 9, whatever I don't really know our exact record, but we've lost games. Doesn't mean we've played great. We've lost games. We've had some heartbreaking losses, especially on the road in the league where we've had chances to get big road wins. But our guys show up every night. They show up every night. I mean, if you take out, really, guys, I mean, the one game, the first road game at Illinois, right, where they beat us. They beat us badly. But to play 20 Big Ten games and to show up really well in 19 of 20, I mean, that shows a lot about a group of guys. Didn't mean we won them all, but we really showed up and we're good in 19 of 20 games. And that's a testament to them, their leadership, showing up every night. That's what we pride ourselves on. We're going to show up. We're going to have each other's back. We're going to play hard, and we're going to try to find a way. And, to have the heartbreak of injury, you have 2 senior guys that have been so much that, and then Ryan goes down, really 3 guys that are starters and missing time and have injuries, and you got to still navigate that, and to be able to be where we are now, could not be more proud of the guys in the locker room. And now we got to rest up. You kind of put this chapter to bed, right? This regular season, this 31 games, like we closed the book on that, and now everything starts fresh. Records start fresh. We have an opportunity. We got to wait. Obviously, we got to get a little bit of help tomorrow to get that double bye by tomorrow's game. So we'll know tomorrow kind of where we're playing. We won't know who we're playing, but we'll know where we're playing, when, what time, and all those things. And now the focus becomes, next weekend trying to go to Minnesota and see if we can be competitive in the Big Ten tournament.
You said this isn't your most talented team, but you guys are scoring, the most that you've ever scored here in your tenure. What do you, attribute that to? Obviously Boo might be some of it, but just the offensive growth you've seen.
Yeah, well, I wanted to clarify. When I said most talented team, I was an assistant at a place and coached a couple talented teams that won national titles. So I didn't want to say this team isn't the most talented Northwestern team. It's just not. When I had Shane Battier and Carlos Boozer and Mike Dunleavy and Jason Williams and Duhan, that was probably the most talented team. But these guys have been awesome, and points were kind of hard to come by last year, right? We were so defensive minded, and we kind of grinded out games, and we stifled people defensively. And really this year we've been a terrific offense. We've been really efficient. We've shot the ball incredibly well. We've been unselfish. Like you look tonight, you have 4 guys in the floor that had at least 4 assists. I mean, that just shows an unselfishness out there and a connectivity with this group. So, we had 53 at half. We only scored 49 in East Lansing 3 nights ago. So that's kind of game to game. You just don't know what kind of game you're going to play. The early in this game, it was kind of a high flying, high scoring, and then we had to do a better job defensively. And then you got to be also wired if you are in a 50-point game to find a way to win those too.
I have a couple more questions.
Coach, you talked about that meeting 2 years ago before last season where people outside were questioning the program. What does it mean to you to flash forward tonight, and you're the reigning Big Ten Coach of the Year on the brink of making a 2nd consecutive NCAA tournament appearance, sold-out crowd. What does it mean to you to come from there to tonight?
Well, it's really why I came to Northwestern. I remember walking in, my press conference, my first day here, and so many people didn't want me to come to Northwestern just because they'd never won. There's no history, there's no tradition. Every coach who's ever gone there, and really good coaches that have coached in the Final Four, Hall of Fame coaches, no one had ever been able to really win, in terms of getting to tournaments and being a factor. And, so many people in my life were like, why would you want to go there? And it's because of this. Like how many times in life do you have the opportunity to do things that have never been done? And that was just such a challenge that I was excited for. I love this area. I grew up in Northbrook. This is home to me. I grew up kind of coming to some games and always thinking like, man, if you could get a little momentum, this is kind of a place, the campus is beautiful, and could you activate the students to get, and that's why we built Welsh-Ryan the way we did, where it's smaller and more intimate, where it could be loud and the students could be on top. And, it is emotional for me at times this year to walk out on the crowd and just see our place rocking. Because I remember where it was. You never forget where where you started and where you came from, and it's been a fun journey. It's been a hard journey, and you go through times, and where sometimes you're like, man, it's not going well, and guess what? You just keep fighting, and that's what I always tried to do as a coach, to be that example for the players. Like even when we were losing and had a couple bad years in a row, and everybody was slinging mud at us, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I couldn't coach, and I wasn't going to be the coach here, and all those things. Like I never listened to all that. I just stayed true. I knew if we just kept at it and we kept fighting, that we could turn it. And so to see that happen the last 2 years, Certainly this year was important because it's like anything. We'd been to the tournament in 17, and then everyone throws in your face, well, then you flopped in 18. So it's like always something that you got to answer to. And I grew up in this business, so I get it. Like ever since I was a little kid, I've been around the media and expectations and all those things. So like I've always had the ability to have thick skin about that stuff and understand, like, just stay true to who you are, be confident, be that for your guys, be that example for them. And, to see these guys go out and play to that personality with that tough minded and that grit, that's always what I've wanted for this program. And to have this, I always thought if we could win a little bit, that this area would really rally around our program. I really did, because I know this. I grew up here, so I know there's so many sports fans and people who love basketball, and to see that happen here these last 2 years have been awesome. And I'm excited, to go into the postseason. Of course, first things first, but then continue. Like I said, I came here for this to be a program. I didn't come to go to one NCAA tournament. I wanted this to be a program that people would respect. Like when we play Northwestern, like they're gonna play hard, they're gonna be competitive, they're a good team, and I think we've had to really fight hard to earn that. But I see that starting to happen, and as a coach, that's really makes me proud.
How have Ty and Matt led from the bench? How have you seen them lead, not just tonight, but just this week?
Their voices, that's why I was on them. I mean, obviously Ty's energy, right? He's an energizer bunny. He's and we need that. We need that enthusiasm. We need that energy. He's been awesome in huddles. It was crazy, actually. The first game he didn't play after he got hurt. He's always the guy that breaks our huddles. When you get together and you say, hey, 1, 2, 3, and the first game that he wasn't there, he couldn't go because he had his surgery. We got in the huddle and everybody just kind of stood there and nobody said anything. And we're like, oh my God, we missed Ty. And so to get his energy back and to be able to help some of the young guys, I saw Matt doing that as well, the way he's helped Luke and Blake while he's been out. You need that, and man, I wish those guys were out there playing. I mean, it's heartbreaking to me on senior night when a guy can't go out there and play on his senior night and go out there with his brothers and compete. And that's heartbreaking to me for those two guys. But I know they're going to do their best to help us, as we go into postseason.
Last question, Jake.
Coach, of course, Boo was honored last season on senior night, but now knowing that this is your last season coaching him, how have the emotions kind of changed around tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, he's family to me. I mean, we've been through so much together, good, bad, tough meetings, tough times, and then amazing times. I mean, the highest of high times. And so, he'll always be a part of my family. We have a relationship that is incredibly special. That's what you want, with your best players, with your point guard. Like, we have a relationship that is really special to me, what he's meant to the program. It does make me emotional, and that's why I said I want to keep playing as long as we can, because it's going to be really weird for me, to coach a game without him out there for 5 years. I've been used to penciling him in the lineup, and that's going to be a tough thing for me when it's all said and done. But let's play for a while longer so we don't get to that point anytime soon. So, thank you guys. Thanks for covering us, guys, this year. Appreciate you guys.
All right, we're here with Boo Buie, Ryan Langborg. We're going to some questions for these guys. Please.
Sentimental question. So Coach kind of talked about how before the season 2022, you guys had a meeting just about, everybody's kind of throwing luck on you and you kind of wanted to rebound. This question was asked to Coach, but coming from then to now, just what does this journey mean to you? Like, to see how much progress you guys have made as a team from the beginning of 2022 to now.
Yeah, I mean, just the progress, the dedication. Honestly, last year's team was special, and then coming into this year, with 6 new guys on the team and being able to, still come out here and have great success, it just shows like a true testament to the culture, that we've been building these last 2 years, and it also is credit to the new guys coming in and following suit, and even some of them being leaders, like Borg. Man, it's just special. Like, if you look into the gym, like opposed to my first 3 years here, you'll be like what is this place like? And then now it's just growing, and like it was sold out tonight. It's been sold out multiple times throughout the year. We're winning games. So the culture just has to keep going, and we just got to keep going.
For both of you, you both had senior nights before, but how did the emotions really change knowing this is your last year of college basketball?
I mean, just for me, like it's been awesome playing here. Northwestern has welcomed me. It's exceeded all my expectations. It's been unbelievable. Obviously, yeah, it's my second senior night, but not playing college basketball again after this year would be really weird. But we have a lot of time left, hopefully. So hopefully we're not thinking about that yet.
Did you want me to answer that?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, like pretty much what Ryan said. Last year I kind of knew I was coming back, so like it didn't really feel like senior night. This year, I shedded some tears in the postgame interview just because like I actually finally felt like, wow, man, I'm never gonna play in here again, and just to think about that is kind of crazy. But I am happy I hit a 3 for my last shot as well as my first shot.
Boo, obviously last year on senior night, you guys dropped a heartbreaker in overtime. What did it mean tonight to kind of go out on the right note?
Yeah, it just means a lot to start something 2 years ago, and to be able to go out there and finish it off like how we did tonight. It's just super special. Fits the part. Yeah, I mean we really came in dialed in tonight. Like you saw from the jump, we were dialed in. We were locked in.
The coach was talking about how after your first 3 years here and no tournament appearances, and some guys ended up transferring away, and there was a lot of questioning about the state of the program. What made you want to stay? Why'd you stay with Northwestern?
My whole life I've been an underdog, and Coach Collins with the transfer portal, and with just college sports in general, he could have decided after those first 2 seasons of us being complete trash to go and seek another point guard, or basically just lose faith in me and not believe I was good enough to win in the league. But instead we locked arms, and we said when I committed here, it was all about a rebuild and coming in and helping this program get back to where it's at right now. And so that was just something that we had never forgot, even through all the losing. And I really, truly believe that you grow through tough times, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I've been through a lot of tough stuff in my life, so I just figured, like, losing a couple games, that's real easy compared to what I've been through.
Boo, take us through that final possession, your last shot, and and then coming off the court afterwards. What did you say to Coach Collins?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just thank Coach for everything, for believing in me. Just always, especially these past 2 years. I mean, he's believed in me since I stepped foot on campus. He put the ball in my hands as a freshman. But, our relationship has been able to just really, really develop and grow. And so I just really thanked him, a lot for just helping me mature on and off the court. But I knew I was going to shoot the 3 the whole time. He told me to wait till 12 on the shot clock. And at 12, when it turned 12, he started yelling, go, go, go. And I'm just waiting there, 10, 9, 8. And I hear him yelling, go, go. But I'm like, I'm shooting the 3. And so I'm just easing my way, and then I shot the 3. So, but I knew I was shooting it.
First of all, you got to end on a make, right? But second of all, that you guys had a 7-minute stretch in the first half where it was just, I think you hit every shot, maybe missed a free throw too, but from the field you were perfect. How does it feel in those moments, and is that something you guys think you can carry over both to the Big Ten tournament and postseason games moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we would like to hit every shot every time. It's one way to start a game off, but I think obviously we're going to have those games, and we're going to have games where we don't hit shots, but I think it comes down to, like he was talking about, our culture has been our aggressiveness on the defensive end. And, I mean, when we lock in defensively, even if we're not hitting shots, the shots will eventually fall. We know that as guys, and we trust in each other. So it's great to always start the game off like that, but I think we go into it with the same mindset no matter what.
And like one of the things that's been like a hallmark of this team is kind of the resiliency and the ability to like bounce back from adversity, whether it be from injuries, like after a tough loss, etc. So I was kind of like, how do you think that'll serve y'all well as you like move into the postseason?
You know, I think this win is huge. You know, with all the adversity that we're going through right now, and whether it's injuries or just, you know, late March. Early March, but late in the season. But I think this win is really big for us. You know, last game we didn't make shots versus Michigan State, and this game we came out really hot. But it's just a good momentum to go into the tournament with, and you know, everybody should just be really confident and, you know, out there playing with a lot of joy. So yeah, I mean, going into the Big Ten tournament, we should feel good. We should feel confident. That was a huge one.
Obviously, tonight was senior night, but also this game had very big implications for Big Ten standings and potential to make it back to March Madness. How much are those things that you guys talk about before the game? Do you kind of try to block out the seeding and all that kind of stuff, or do you kind of embrace it?
I mean, I know for me, I assume it's the same for everybody. Like we weren't talking about the seeding at all, like before the game. I mean, it's if you take anybody for granted or you try to look forward to anything, you're going to get beat. And I mean, he knows that playing this league for a long time, and I've learned that very quickly here. So, yeah, it was all about Minnesota tonight, and then we can look forward to all the rest of it.
Last question, Aisha.
You're touching back on the fast offensive start. Obviously, with all the emotion that was going on and all that was at stake, how did that hot shooting stretch in the first half really help relieve some of the pressure with all that was going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ryan said, it always feels good to come out and just, you know, hit those shots. I mean, I feel like as a player, if you score your first basket or your team scores a basket, I kind of feels like that kind of just relieves all of the climatic, like, pressure built up. When we got the first layup, like, it was like all right, like, you know, we're going to settle in, and then we just kept getting really good shots, and we were able to hit them with a strong first 4 minutes.
All right, gonna wrap this up.
Thank you.
Thank you.